YouTube, we back with another video. And in today's video, we got my boy Zevy talking about the craziest scam somebody could pull off as a dentist. If you got them big block ass teeth in your mouth, take them out. Let's get to it, man.
Now, some of you may remember last year there was a bunch of people going around calling themselves veneer techs.
Right.
Brandon was one of those people. But Brandon had a problem. He got arrested because there's no such thing as a veneer tech. You have to be a dentist to put veneers on people. It's like calling yourself a nose job technician. No, you got to be a surgeon. Now, Brandon's problem's actually bigger than it may seem because he just got all his charges and his counts. He got 110 counts. Brandon looked at his lawyer, he said,
That nigga is going away for a very long time.
how I got 110 counts, meanwhile Sean Puff Daddy Combs only got 5. How'd that make sense? Brandon's lawyer said, great question, Brandon.
That
You
is
see,
crazy.
The thing about the court of law is it's not just about how many crimes you do. Those are your charges. It's about how many times you do those crimes. Those are your counts. And since you practice, no offense, on a whole bunch of people, you got a whole bunch of counts. Brandon said,
Right.
okay, that makes sense. But what I did wasn't that bad, right? It was bad. You see, this whole thing started a few years back when Brandon noticed that everybody and their moms wanted veneers. So he said, look, all you gotta do is glue the teeth on the teeth. Let me just do that. So Brandon started a business calling himself a veneer tech. Glue the teeth on the teeth.
Nigga said glue the teeth on the teeth. That's crazy. I ain't gonna
Now, I want you to peep his jewelry. That boy was making money. He was charging an average around $3,000 per set. Over the years, he made about $4 million because Brandon
Damn.
was a savvy businessman. He utilized social media to its fullest, and he was popular because the teeth was looking good. Now, I know
His
what you're
teeth
thinking,
don't
well,
look
what's the
bad,
problem?
though.
The teeth looking good, everybody happy. Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna get to that in a moment, but first I want you to notice what it says up here. Atlanta's top veneer specialist and trainer. He made money training people in this tomfoolery. Whole time he knows that you need a license to do this. Brandon said, well, look, as long as the teeth look good, then we all happy. Because here's where things start to get wicked. Because it turns out there's a reason why you need a dentist to put veneers on you. There's a lot of details that go into veneers. You got to shave the teeth a certain way if needed. You got to clean the teeth a certain way. He wasn't doing that. So
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If y'all getting veneers, bro, please do not get them bitches where they shave your teeth down looking like shark teeth. Y'all niggas be looking like demons walking around this bitch. And when y'all get the age of 50, nigga, y'all gonna look scary as hell. Y'all really gonna be little shark doo for sure, nigga.
when people would go to the actual dentist, say, hey, look at my veneers, the dentist would be like, your teeth falling out. In fact, it was so obvious that these veneers were placed by someone without a license, dentists immediately start reporting it. They didn't ask no questions. One of Brandon's patients came out and said, as soon as her dentist looked at her teeth, he said, check his wall for a license. So people had to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars in repairs. Brandon said, what? He said, no, you just gotta glue the teeth on the teeth. The police said, put your hands behind your back. So police raided his spot, found out he had prescription level drugs he was giving his patients so he can, add veneers on them. He can't do that. He don't have a license. Found out he been doing this for years. Found out again, he been charging people thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Bro, how many people do y'all think are out there right now, dentists, who are still finessing doing this shit? Because I guarantee you, gang, if y'all are paying $5,000 for some perfect ass teeth, bro, them bitches is not good. I'm telling you right now. Do not go out to Cuba or the Caribbeans to get your teeth done, nigga. If you really want to get your teeth done, you better pay that bag. And I seen people paying upwards of 60 bands for some teeth. Now that's OD.
This is fraud. This is theft. So now you can see how the charges and accounts start adding up. Worst part is he can't deny any of this stuff. He documented everything on Instagram. This man got so many charges, they slapped him with a RICO. They say, you know what? You did
RICO?
all of this stuff under an organization. It's a criminal organization. We just gonna give you a RICO too.
Oh, Rico for some teeth? Nah, that's crazy. You know how many niggas out here doing some flamboyant shit? But I understand though, because you're playing in somebody's mouth. Pause. Let's fuck that. But no, I understand from where they're coming from. Yeah, throw that nigga the book. Throw it, the book.
Brandon looked at his lawyer. He said, Rico, who they think I am? Jeffrey Thugger Williams? Brandon's lawyer said, well, you do have an organization and you did commit a lot of crimes, so it kind of fits the status of a Rico. Brandon said, you the ops? Brandon's lawyer said, no. But side note, I collect my fee whether we win or lose. And well, it's probably going to be a tough case for Brandon, especially for the fact that this whole thing happened in Atlanta. And I'm sure Atlanta wants to send a strong message about scamming. So Not looking good, because Atlanta's been in a whole thing about cleaning up its image. That's why they wanted to lock up Young Thug so bad. They wanted him to be sort of the poster boy of everything wrong with Atlanta, since Young Thug is a huge part of Atlanta culture. So they figure, okay, we lock up Young Thug and we send a message, hey, don't be doing Young Thug things. It seems to be the same thing for Brandon Dillard, because they gave bro 113 counts to be specific.
God, 113 counts, bro. Do y'all know how much that is, bro? Like, they gonna throw the book at Buddy. They got to. But is this considered white collar crime though? Like, where does this even fall under, bro? Because if it's a RICO or organized crime, I would think, I don't know, bro. How are they gonna sentence this?
They want him bad. They even charged him with battery. Battery is the unlawful physical contact with somebody else. Technically, he had physical contact with other people by putting veneers on them. And technically, it was unlawful for him to do so. So it does constitute as battery. And with all of the patients, they found that he put veneers on. They all count as a count of battery. That adds up to a good many years. And that's one of the charges. They charge him with theft as well. Technically, he's stealing people's money, right? Because people paid him under false pretenses. So he's technically stealing people's money. Now, the interesting thing is, all of these technicallys I'm telling you are technically true, but they can be technically false. And that's why we have the court system.
But why does his teeth look so damn good though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Did he do his own teeth? Ain't no fucking way, because his teeth look great. I know, you know what's crazy? He probably ran that bag up and went to an actual professional to get his teeth done. I know the game.
Because now a jury's going to sit there and say, oh, well, maybe that's a stretch. Maybe we won't count it as stealing. Maybe we'll count it as scamming. Maybe it's not battery. I don't know. That decision is up to a jury. They can say even yes, battery for some people, but no battery for other people that he performed the veneer thingy on. So he can literally see from a couple years to a couple decades. We have absolutely
a couple decades for some teeth, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. You better get the best lawyer that you can, because it seems like they don't even know what to charge you with, bro. They keep saying battery or scamming. They don't know what. So, bro, if you get the top of the line judge and you ain't spend your bread, you might walk away with only a couple years and it revolving around white collar crime.
Absolutely no idea how long he's going to be in jail for. These type of cases highly depend on the jury that's selected, especially for that RICO charge. RICO charges are really hard to prove. They tried to get Diddy on a RICO charge, didn't work. They tried to get Young Thug on a RICO charge, didn't work. And it seems that in the court of law, RICOs are like Hail Marys. They're like trending for prosecutors. They basically say, you know what, let's just add this in there. If they get him for a RICO, then they get him for a RICO. If not, then hopefully they get him on all these other charges. Because RICOs, basically, you have to prove this criminal intent with the organ. There's like a bunch of little tiny statutes that constitute for a RICO, and it confuses the hell out of juries all the time.
But was he actually trying to help people, or was he trying to finesse? That's what I want to know, and I think that's what they're trying to figure out. Was he generally trying to help people? Like, I don't know. It's a real gray area, bro. Y'all comment down below and let me know what y'all think. What they gonna charge him with?
In Diddy's trial specifically, they kept asking questions when they were deliberating. The jury, they kept coming out to the judge and saying, what does this mean again? And even the judge was saying, I mean, use your best judgment, because what is an organization? Was Brandon's practice an organization? You could most likely say yes. Was he the only employee? Do we need other employees to count it as an organization? But a lot of times juries just sit there and go, you know what? Maybe the RICO charge is just a stretch. At the end of the day, Brandon was practicing dentistry without a license. Am I gonna call him a criminal organization? Maybe, I don't know. It's like, again, the Diddy example. They had a bunch of crimes on Diddy, and Diddy technically did these crimes under his organization. So is that technically a RICO? Yes.
But the thing about Diddy, nigga, that nigga was using baby oil. This nigga is using straight teeth. Like, I kind of find it hard believing him just trying to finesse people, because I know being a dentist, even trying to put people's veneers on, like, you have to, if they got cavities, it's like real set guidelines that you have to follow before you even put the veneers on. So I don't even want to compare him to Diddy, bro, because Diddy was just, that nigga was going crazy. Like,
I guess. So Diddy's jury was asking about the security guard. Does he count as like an employee? Like, what do we do here? At the end of the day, Diddy's jury said, you know what? Diddy just freaky. Diddy just violent. Let's
Freaky
book
as
him
hell.
on the charges associated with that. We don't know about the RICO. We just gonna drop it. But what we also learned from high profile charges like Diddy's, like Young Thug's, is the judge is a huge factor. I feel like trials and laws are kind of there for show. I feel like humans at the end of the day look at something and pretty much make a decision. In Young Thug's case, Young Thug's prosecutor seemed highly corrupt. Young Thug was in jail for many years and things weren't really going anywhere. So Young Thug's judge said, dude, just let him go.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's how it goes all the time, 90% of the time in the system. And because it's all about who you know, bro. If you know the right people, if somebody can rub elbows with the judge, pay them a little bread on the side, bruh, that judge gonna let you go or might give you a shorter sentence. And we see it time and time after again, bro. But if the judge don't fuck with you and you did some crazy shit, gang, hey, say goodbye.
In Diddy's case, it was the opposite. Diddy seemed to get away with a bunch of things. So Diddy's judge is like, no. We gonna look to give you the maximum time on the charges that you did get. So in Brandon's case, it really depends on the judge he gets as well. Imagine you're sitting there as Brandon's judge and you find out Brandon absolutely knew he was screwing up with people's teeth. Let's say the prosecution comes out and says, Brandon got many complaints over the years saying, hey, Brandon, my teeth are basically falling out. Can I have some money back or something? And Brandon said no. Psych. Brandon flashing his jewelry.
Okay, now that right there, you're playing a dangerous game. I ain't gonna lie. If he was the type of dentist to be like, okay, come back or we'll give you a refund, then I feel like his sentence might be a little lighter because he's actually caring about his clients. But if he's just like, fuck you, nigga, look at my wrist. Nah, buddy, you're going to jail and you're about to be chilling with Debo.
Got the money on, flashing his dollars, flexing. He got the audacity to be on Instagram. He Instagram famous, doing this thing, teaching other people to commit the crimes that he's committing when he knows it's a crime. If you a judge and you sitting there and you listening to all that, and you have the choice between giving Brandon a minimum sentence and a maximum sentence, what are you gonna do? That's why you see defendants coming in on.
You getting the book, nigga. You what? I ain't gonna lie. You fuck my teeth up, nigga. You getting more than the book, nigga. We fucking your teeth up, nigga. Straight gums.
Humble, looking down in a suit and saying, man, I really saw the error of my ways. Doing all that so the judge can basically sympathize with them and go, you know what, maybe they learned their lesson. Let me give them the minimum time. Yeah, that's probably not going to be the case for Brandon because, again, he was committing his crimes in broad day on Instagram. The judge is probably going to want to send a message. Hey, you can't be doing all this. It's kind of like what happened to a rapper named TK. In the judge's words, you sang a song called The Race. You was basically making fun of us, saying you doing the race from police. We gonna give you time. So at the end of the day for Brandon.
I feel bad for TK case though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. They hung him, bro. Gave that nigga the book. This dude right here though, he's smiling too hard in his profile pics. He flexing. They gonna throw it to him too as well.
It could absolutely go anyway. He can get anywhere from 0 years, not likely, to decades.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. That's a crazy story, bro. Pulling off a heist with teeth, my nigga. Like, what? That's crazy. But anyways, man, let me know y'all thoughts in the comments down below. How do y'all feel about this situation? Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.